might get a little sentimental because all of these cute things are just tugging at my heart to like, just get rid of them might be kind of hard. Hi friends, my name is Sherrie Yvette for those of you who have just come across this video, or maybe you're new to the channel. Today we are going to chat about some sentimental stories, or I'm going to share with you some sentimental stories about my journey through motherhood and what that has looked like from coming from a single mom to now a married mom and now expecting baby number 3, and what it felt like for me to be in the wait. And as we chat today, I am going to declutter all of baby girl's clothes. So I already have 2 girls, and our littlest, Lily Jean, is 19 months old. Our youngest is in my belly, and this baby is going to be due in October. So if you have to check out the gender reveal here on the channel. You probably never seen one like it, so I'll link it in the cards if you want to check it out. So baby is not going to be able to use a lot of this, so as I talk with you today, I'm going to declutter some of these things. But also I'm hoping that you will be able to find something within my stories that you can latch on to. And if you can, I would love for you to subscribe, click the like button, and turn on the notification bell, or maybe even like share it with a friend. So as I said, I am a mother of 3. My oldest is 13, which is not my husband's biological child, but she is his first experience with fatherhood. So he loves her, and there's honestly no delineation. And that's very important to me. I would not have it honestly any other way than it being no delineation. And the fact that she is his first experience with fatherhood just makes the relationship even more special. So I had my first when I was 25, and it wasn't a planned pregnancy. And it was like a surprise when I was pregnant. Like I literally didn't figure it out until I was like 2 months in, and my friend who at the time who had already had a child, and she was like, "Are you sure you're not pregnant?" And I'm like, "Nah, I just don't feel good." But she was like, "You haven't been feeling good for a long time." So needless to say, we were pregnant. My daughter's biological father is still very active in her life. In fact, she has 2 homes, this one and his, and she spends like a week at his home, or her home over there, and a week here. So I say that to say that families can blend, you know? Families most certainly, just look at it. Families most certainly can blend and do it well. And just because a relationship severs doesn't mean that people can't co-parent in a healthy way, right? So I just give that bit of my testimony or my story just to give a little bit of a preference, you know, because sometimes people think I'm a single mom and you're married is different. I have a unique perspective because I have the experience of, you know, being a single mom and being married. And I will admit, even though I've been a single parent, but I like to say that I've never was a single parent who had to parent alone, because my daughter's father never left, right? He never left. Like, we severed our relationship because it wasn't healthy for the 2 of us at the time, but he never stopped being her father, like in an active way. So, oh my gosh, I've got to keep this. It's just her first little sweater when she came home. I got to keep it. I cannot give that away. So yeah. So I know what it feels like to be both married and expecting a baby, and unmarried and expecting a baby, and having a relationship that, honestly, if I could just be transparent, because that's what it's about, honestly, I was getting ready to break up with my daughter's biological father, and we decided to stick it out for as long as we could. for the sake of our child, which she is absolutely amazing. And I think we do a beautiful job of co-parenting. So I just wanted to let you know that there is hope if you're co-parenting, right? And just because you have a baby out of wedlock or you're not married doesn't mean that you can't successfully parent, whether it be as a single parent or co-parent with someone who loves your child just as much as you do, right? I'm a testimony to that. And I'm so, so thankful for our co-parenting relationship. Now this is the little sleeper that I put my baby girl, Ailani, who's 13. After I gave birth, I put her in this. And then when I had Lily Jean, after I gave birth, I put her in this too. But I don't think I can put baby in this too. But I'm still gonna keep it. It's sentimental. So our second baby is Lily Jean. And my husband, Alan, and I have been married for 6 years. So I wanted to have a baby as soon as we got married. Like literally, I wanted to let's go, let's get it, let's have this baby. But that's not what my husband was thinking. And I'm glad that he's the type of person who's very mellow and chill. But he's also the type of person who is not going to have an opinion or know something and not say it. But his approach is just going to be same tone of voice, same consistency. So because we weren't on one accord about having or starting a family, I had to wait. And I was at first not very happy about waiting. I was bitter about it. I was upset about it because I did not want to wait. I wanted to have a baby because in my head I was thinking worldly. Look, I'm already older than you and you're younger than me. I need to have these babies because you know what the world says, when you get older, you can't have babies because your eggs are going to be gone or dried up or some superstitious thing that people say to you. That is not true. So, but I had that mindset when I first got married. But we waited. And I'm glad that we did. And I'm glad that my husband didn't just let me have my way, because that probably could have been detrimental to our marriage, for him to compromise on something that he wasn't ready for. Because let me tell you, babies, children, change the entire dynamic of your household. So it's definitely, I feel, whether you're Christian or not Christian, that you need to be on the same page about bringing a baby into the world. While I was upset about it and while I had all these emotions about it, I would just pray and talk to God at first. And then God would lead me subtly to okay, you're not about to go do this right now. 9 months later, push the baby out, boom. But you can talk about it. You guys can plan. So I think once I communicated to my husband that, hey, if I want to talk about having a baby, doesn't necessarily mean that I want to have a baby right now. So he became comfortable in the space of talking about having a baby. And I would just, in my quiet time and prayer time, just talk to God about it. And one of my friends at the time told me that I should get a box, and in that box she said I should shop for baby things and put baby things in that box. So I did, and I would pray, and I would just pray and ask God about my babies, and I'm about to cry, and what they would be like, and when it was time, and how would we know when we were ready, and if my body would be ready, because I was experiencing some health challenges that I won't go into right now. But I would just talk to God about it. And let me tell you, years before we even got to the point of being ready to broach the topic about, trying to actively have a baby, God gave me dreams. God gave me dreams while I was sleeping about babies. 2 babies. And I'm getting emotional and excited about it because y'all, these 2 babies I would dream about. Specifically, the one dream I had was about a baby girl. And this baby girl and we were at the Olympics or a gymnastics meet of some sort. In my mind, it was the Olympics. And I was sitting in the stands because if you don't know, my 13-year-old is a gymnast. She competes level 8 right now and is training to be a level 9 gymnast, and she has been since she was a wee little girl. So I know that's where that part came from. Oh, I'm about to get so we were in this dream. I was sitting in the bleachers, sitting in the stands, and my daughter, of course, was competing, and I was holding a baby girl. This baby girl, in the dream, she was wearing a red leotard. She had the chunkiest little cheeks, the chunkiest little thighs, and her hair was slicked down straight forward, right? It was just slicked down straight, silky smooth, long straight hair, slicked down. And that's what I remember in the dream. And I woke up thinking okay, God, who was that baby? Why was I holding it? What does that mean? When, Lord, when? So I remember journaling about that particular dream and just continuing to talk to God about it. And then I had another dream, again, way before we were ready to even talk about having or actively conceiving babies. And that's how faithful God is. In the wait, He's not going to allow you to suffer. He's going to give you reminders and inklings of what it is that your heart desires when you decide to take time and talk to Him about it and not believe what the world tells you. If I would have believed what the world told me, I would have believed that I would be too old in my late 30s to be conceiving babies. But God gave me these dreams. And then the second dream I had, I'm crying because God is so on point. And you guys, if you're in a journey where you're waiting, or you're going through infertility, or doubt, anxiety, disbelief, just trust God and just talk to Him about it in your private time. Stop talking to everybody and reading everything. Just talk to God about it. The second dream I had was about a baby boy. And I'm crying now because this is a baby boy. The second dream I had was about a baby boy. And oh my gosh, he was so beautiful. He had brown skin, beautiful curly hair. That's why I'm so excited to see what this little baby's gonna look like. He just had the most luscious curls. And in the dream, his name was Sammy. So I'm like, what is the significance of Samuel? Sammy. So I got up and I read in the Bible about Samuel, right? Cutest little shoes. But my baby boy can't wear these. In the Bible, in 1 Samuel, chapter 1, I'll start at verse 19. And try not to cry, because in the dream, this beautiful baby boy with the brown skin and the curly hair, his name was Sammy. And when I woke up from the dream, you know, the Holy Spirit whispered to me, Samuel, you gotta read the book of Samuel. Like, who is Samuel in the Bible, like, what does his name mean? What was his mom going through? So here's what it says. The entire family got up early the next morning and went to worship the Lord once more. Then they returned home to Ramah. And when Elkanah slept with Hannah, the Lord remembered her plea. And in due time she gave birth to a son. When she named him Samuel, for she said, I asked the Lord for him. So when I read that, could you possibly imagine like what I felt? Like, God, you love me so much that you would give me these dreams to affirm my desires, even in the wait. And like, how can, and I get so emotional, and sometimes I feel bad, like, Lord, how could I have ever doubted you? You know, like, in that time in the wait, giving me those dreams, and he would specifically send women that I may not have even connected with years, like from high school or like early in my career, or like old friends, send women to pray with me about my marriage and my desire to conceive, about my children. He would send women in my Facebook inbox to tell me about what I was waiting for, way before it was time for him to manifest it, not me manifest it. He would send women. I got Facebook messages, around Facebook messages, women that we don't even like comment on each other's thing, just like, the Lord is leading me to say this, or you know what, Sherrie, I woke up and I had a dream. Oh my God. Michelle told me I had a dream that you were wearing a gray sweatshirt suit and you were a gray sweatshirt and you were pregnant. Like, sending those dreams to me at the right time to like affirm that, daughter, I heard you. Daughter, I see you. Daughter, wait on me. Like, God is just so faithful that he loves us just that much, that if we humble ourselves and we shut out the noise and we remain confident in him, you know, how we're able to hear from him, and he will send just the right people at the right time to give us those reminders. And it's such like a beautiful, beautiful thing that he loves us so much that he promises to give us our heart's desires. So I just want to encourage you, whether it's you're waiting for a baby, maybe it's a job, I don't know what it is you're waiting on, but just to trust God. Like, shut out the noise. Forget about what people are saying, or, you know, what people have spoken over you, or what science says. Forget about that, right? And just trust God to see you through it, to bring that thing to pass. Like, I'm not up here trying to sound like a pastor here on this day, but I just want you to trust God in the fact that that baby girl is in a home. I'm getting ready to take her this next weekend to my daughter's regional competition, one of her first gymnastics meets, and she's going to be sitting on my lap. I might just even go get her that red leotard for her to wear it to her sissy's competition, because it's not anything that I manifested in my own strength, but by the grace of God, and just knowing and believing and that he loves me so much that I'm his daughter, that he will give me my heart's desires. And in October, I'm going to be putting my little baby boy in this same little onesie that I put my baby girl in the hospital. And it's just such a beautiful thing. So, Lord, I just thank you. And Father, I just pray for anyone under the sound of my voice who is seeking you for anything, Lord, whether it be to grow their family, for peace of mind, whether it be for resources to live, or new job, Lord, or new career, Father, that you would just send them signs, miracles, miracles and wonders, Lord. And you will just send them the right people just to speak to their hearts and minds and their spirits, Lord. May they be able to shut out all of the noise and to be able to declutter not only physically in their spaces but mentally, Lord, to be able to be in the right place at the right time for what it is that their hearts desire. Amen. So I am actually going to finish decluttering these clothes. I got so many. I still have this bin over here I need to go through. So in my next video, I will run down for you some options that you have for placing your clutter in the right spot. But I also, more than your physical clutter, I also want to continue to encourage you to mentally declutter and just leave space to be able to hear from God and trust Him. Allow Him to whisper to your heart and mind as you seek Him in your whispers and your prayers, whether it be on your knees or in the car or in the shower. All right, guys, I will see you in the next one as I continue to declutter all of these clothes. I just want to keep them. Somebody else will enjoy these. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.